This week's best of video is very near and dear to my heart. For most of my adult life, I've eaten a fairly plant-based diet. Although I identify with it, I'm not quite lacto-ovo-vegetarian, as I do periodically eat some chicken, fish, and on those very rare occasions, pork. So I'm super psyched today to explore some of the best vegan fast casual in the Bay Area. San Francisco is the origin of the beatnik movement in the 1950s, which, among some of the other counterculture ideas, embraced vegetarianism. So it's always been a city that's been rich with health food grocery stores and vegetarian restaurant options. I'll stop to point out here that even though vegetarian-only restaurants are not as numerous, most all restaurants here cater to a vegetarian-only diet. Veganism, a branch of vegetarianism which cuts out all animal-based products, including milk and eggs, has been around since 1944, so it's a pretty well-developed practice. On the surface, to non-practitioners, the diet may seem fairly narrow and restricted, but in fact there are a ton of food preparation approaches. Today we're going to look at the top 3 most popular vegan styles. The most traditional approach to veganism is starch-based, where you replace the animal protein with some form of starch like potatoes, yams, legumes, quinoa, or rice. The starch is not only nice and filling, sustaining you from meal to meal, but also converts to simple sugars, which gives you a ton of energy and doesn't as easily convert to fat. Then the balance of the meal is made up with whole fruits and vegetables. This place is the go-to for a starch-based vegan meal. The anchor of the SF fast casual vegan scene is Nourish Cafe, which opened in 2015. There are 2 locations, this original one back here in the inner Richmond, and a new location which opened up in Nob Hill. That one has an extended menu. The menu focuses on bowls, salads, smoothies, with some sandwiches for variety. Goes without saying that the ingredients are 100% organic and non-GMO. The most popular items are the Nourish Bowl, the Mission Bowl, and the Acai Bowl. I got the Nourish Bowl, which are greens topped with quinoa, sprouts, beet sauerkraut, mashed yams, sunflower seeds, cucumbers, tomatoes, hummus, and avocado. I'm also super excited to try their oil-free creamy dill hemp dressing. Each bowl costs roughly around $15. You can also add either a tofu or a nut-based tuna for $2 extra on the side. Ooh, there's actually some red onion in here too. The veggies are super crispy and fresh. The quinoa is cooked just right. Sometimes when people overcook quinoa, it gets really mushy and mealy, but this is fantastic. The grains taste like they're a little bit al dente, which I love. Perfect. I'm also going to get the dragon fruit smoothie because I love dragon fruit, and I just came back from Asia and it's a little bit of a post-vacation throwback. It's chock full of dragon fruit with bananas for thickness, a base of almond milk, and pineapple for sweetness. It costs $9.50 and you can get a protein boost of hemp seed, spirulina, or almond butter for an extra $1.50. I love that their straws are compostable because I'm on kind of an anti-straw kick right now. Delicious. This is a thinner smoothie and has a little bit more of a consistency of like a thicker, pulpy orange juice than an actual smoothie. I love the flavor, which has these bright notes of dragon fruit, which if you've never had dragon fruit before, it's kind of a more mellow, kiwi-like consistency and texture to it, and definitely that bright burst of pineapple too. And then a bit of an undertone of that meatier banana taste. That was perfect. Simple, pure, wholesome food to give me enough energy to get through my day, and I don't feel like I gotta take a nap right now. In a raw diet, foods are never heated to any greater than 118 degrees Fahrenheit. The belief is that cooking foods kills the micronutrients, and that by eating foods in their natural states, you not only reap their full health benefits, but you also don't get all the dead, empty calories. At the Palo Alto, California Avenue Farmers Market, a popular raw food stall is Rawdaddy. The food here is so artfully crafted, you don't even realize you're eating raw. For a lot of food services, farmers markets are a really great way to launch their business. They can test out their concepts and fine-tune their menus with a smaller audience. All right, guys, so here we are at Rawdaddy, and I'm here with Doug. Let's go in and meet James, who is the cook behind the whole operation. And then also Allison here.
I think our claim to fame is the flax cracker cone. And we put savory and sweet food in it. We use dehydrators to change the texture of the food.
To start, I'm getting the Reuben Sandwich inspired cone.
We're making waffle cones out of flax, buckwheat, quinoa. It's all sprouted. Right now I'm putting a layer of cashew almond cheese. And this is made with Rejuvilac, which is a sprouted grain beverage. So it's got lots of probiotics in it. So now what I just put in there was a sweet mustard. I really like using mushrooms from the market, and also we use his next door, his spice, his spicing to make the barbecue. So we just put in a layer of cashew almond cheese, a layer of smoked mushrooms, some sweet mustard, and some sauerkraut from the local vendor down here. Let me know your thoughts.
Okay, let's give this puppy a try. Really yummy. That cashew is really nice and creamy. There's a nice kick from the mustard, which goes really great with the sauerkraut on here. And the mushroom really gives it a really nice earthiness. And I love the cone, which in addition to being tasty, is really perfect for this type of street food. So you could just carry it like this and eat it like this. The cones are actually quite thin. They don't crumble and break apart when you bite into them, and they maintain their shape. I'm going to finish with a sweet yogurt parfait. This one starts with an activated charcoal cone.
We're going to start off with a little granola. We make the granola. Now this is a cashew yogurt that is really cultured. It's a vegan yogurt, and this has become one of our most popular cones. It's a breakfast cone.
All right, let's try this one. It's very refreshing and yet very filling at the same time. The yogurt's really nice. It's not too sweet, slightly tart. So the granola is also really awesome, in addition to the oats and the buckwheat in there, which is kind of unusual. There's also sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and pumpkin seeds. Really yummy. And this active charcoal cone actually doesn't taste at all like active charcoal. It just tastes like a regular flaxseed cone. Really great if you want something that's healthy and filling for breakfast. We didn't feature it today, but I also wanted to highly recommend their Pilgrims Cone, which tastes like ice cream, but it's made with carrots, believe it or not. So yummy. It's cool and creamy and perfect on a summer's day, and awesome if you're dairy or lactose intolerant. All right, I'm done here. Doug, thanks for feeding me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
See you guys later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. This approach was probably popularized by Chinese Buddhist monks who used to substitute meat in traditional Chinese dishes with wheat and soy products like tofu, seitan, and tempeh, which were shaped and flavored to taste just like meat. Surprisingly, this covers a lot of vegans who really want to give up meat but just don't want to give up the taste or the texture. It could be for health reasons, ethical reasons, or environmental reasons. Recently, there have been a whole bunch of veggie burger and deli joints opening up around the Bay Area, and by far the most popular is the Butcher's Son up here in Berkeley. It was opened up in 2015 by brother-sister duo Peter Ficaris and Christina Stobing, who grew up working in their father's vegetarian restaurant. They wanted to recreate the classic East Coast deli experience, but with vegan meats and cheeses that they formulate from scratch in their own shop. The goal is not necessarily to imitate the animal products down to the exact texture and taste, but to create an equally healthy and tasty vegan alternative. If you're in a hurry, half of the deli is a market with take-home items like these vegan cheeses, deli meats, and vegan desserts. Order your Sammy at the counter and add a dessert and bevy. Then wander out back or onto the patio for seating. So today I got their most popular item, which is the grinder. I specifically am getting the original chicken grinder. This looks absolutely awesome, and I got it with a beetroot coleslaw. So there are 4 other side salad options you can get: a bacon macaroni salad, a potato salad, a pickle, or a mixed green salad.
All the meats are made with gluten products because it tends to be chewier. The filling is a faux grinder meat made with leftover meats, much like a bologna. A faux herb chicken breast and bacon, pickled jalapenos, tomatoes, melted vegan pepper jack cheese, and vegan mayo on a hoagie bun.
The sandwich is huge, and there's kind of this nice, convincing, smoky meat quality to the taste. Definitely lacks the muskiness of meat, and also the texture is probably a little bit more cheesy and crumbly in quality rather than more firm texture that meat has. I love the addition of the pickled jalapenos and the tomatoes, which really ramp up the flavor on it. Okay, so I'm gonna try some of this beetroot salad here. That's delicious. That's all raw, and it also includes some red cabbage, very crunchy. It's pretty lightly seasoned with a vinaigrette, so I love how the flavors of the vegetables really come out. I got the cherry cheese cannoli and a chocolate wafer. Looks yummy. So there's not really an elegant way to eat this with a fork, so I'm just gonna go for it with my hands. Animal style. Actually, that wafer's pretty thin and soft enough to cut with a fork. The wafer is also super crispy. Because it's vegan, the cheese is actually very light and fluffy. You don't get that oily taste from dairy. My only complaint is that the cherry doesn't come through very strongly, so it just tastes like a plain old cannoli. Overall, excellent, and a great way to enjoy a heavy-ass deli sandwich without the guilt and the heaviness afterwards. And across the street is the original location where now the real magic happens. This is where they make their deli meats and cheeses. Hope you've been inspired today to add a little vegan to your life. Not only is it healthy, but tastes damn good too. From Berkeley, California, peace out.